Okay, quizzes, and these are particularly for those people who are creating courses on t4s.site, although they can be used in funnels as a way of engaging with people because everybody loves a quiz. And you can use whether they pass or fail the quiz questions in a funnel to go to different pages in your funnel. But this is more focusing on using it within a course. There is a separate tutorial on building a course. In fact, there's a whole course on how to build a course available on t4s.site. Check out the tutorials page. URL on the screen here for the tutorials on how to build a course. So this is part of that, specifically focusing on creating a quiz within a course. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this one is I'm going to create a brand new funnel, and this is excuse me, have a slurp of tea. I'm going to create a brand new funnel which is going to act as a course. So this is my my super course. I'll give it a name and give it a URL, the web address. Okay, so I've got my funnel, and I'm going to very quickly create a set of pages which will be the structure of my course. So say this is not focusing on the course side of things, just the quiz, but I need to get to that point so I can show you how the course works. So I'm going to create my landing page, which is going to go straight in with some content. Welcome. I'm going to have another page which is then going to quiz people on it. And when they pass that, I'm going to give them another page with some more content. And then I'm going to add another quiz. Two, and then I'm going to stop at that point. And I'll add a completion page. Final page. Final. Now I'm putting the quizzes on pages of their own. You could put the quiz on the same page as the content. It's entirely up to you. Or you can have all of the content and then go to the quiz, which is what I'm going to do here. So that's my structure. It's a course, so I want the menu display. So I'm just going to click all of these to get the menu pages. Because what I don't want to do is them to be allowed to progress past quiz 1 and see some more content in quiz 2 until they pass quiz 1. So it reinforces learning, gives rewards to the participant, and all the usual psychological pluses for doing so. So very quickly, let's create the most ridiculous set of content in the world. So you need to know this. And here I've got lots of content. I'm just going to make some C things up. Capital of France is Paris. Rome is in Italy. As I said, ridiculous. What should we say? Germany is in Europe. Okay, so just some daft things. And then I'm going to say a button on the bottom here saying when you're ready, take the quiz. Alright, so that's my ridiculously silly, simple page. So, save that. And then on page 2, let me just set the button to go to my quiz. Okay, so they'll click on that and then they'll go to the first quiz. I'm not going to put anything on quiz 1 page yet because I'm going to create my quiz in a second, but I've then got some more content which is going to be my section 2 of my course. You could create this in weeks, or you could create this in sections, or whatever you want to do. You also, excuse me, you also need to know, boom, boom, boom. Paragraph. What should we say here? 11 is a primary number. Blimey, there are 4 seasons. Wonderful. and then I'll put a button saying now take the quiz, and that will go to my second one. And then finally on my final page, did I save that? No, save. On my final page I'm going to say thank you very much and show them the results and a certificate which can be downloaded. So course completion, you can do whatever you want on this sort of thing, but that's the end of the course and the results. So that's the basic bits and pieces. So I've now got to do my quiz setup, and I do my quiz setup in quizzes on the Funnel Manager page. It's on here because you can reuse your quizzes on as many different courses or funnels as you want, so you don't have to recreate them. So they're there as sort of a global resource for you. And you start off by creating a quiz. So this is going to be my super quiz, and create. It's now on my list of quizzes, and I can click on my super quiz to start editing. So the first thing I want to do is start putting in my questions. So question 1 will be, what do we put? Oh, blimey, I can't remember. We put capital of France, didn't we? What is the capital of France? Whoops. And add my question. Okay, so I've now got my question up here. Order is the order in which the questions appear on the page. The answers I then can put in. So let's put in London. It's not correct, so I don't tick that. I put in Paris. That is correct, so I tick it. And put in Madrid. Okay, so show my 3 answers. Green tick show me which one I selected as the correct one. You can have more than one. If you want if there's a question, pick the correct answer, then you'd obviously have one correct one. If you want to say pick all of the things that are whatever, then you can have more than one correct thing in your answers. So you can use select one or select all. I would suggest in your questions you're very clear. Select the one whatever if it's not clear like it is here. Or select all that apply. Be very specific and clear in your questions. Okay, next one. What did I put? Is Germany. Which of these countries are in Europe? Pick one. There's a good example. And my question. And then I put my answers. So which of these are in Europe? Colombia. Not correct. China is not correct. And you can have as many answers as you want here. Australia is not correct. And Germany, as they've been told, is correct. Now the order of the answers, you don't choose the order, they're shuffled every page visit. So it's the same answers, but the order is shuffled every time, just to give a more of a challenge, so that people don't remember the placement of the answers. They actually have to pick the answers. And I can't remember what the other question was, so let me just quickly go back and check. I think it was Rome in Italy, isn't it? Rome is in Italy, okay. So that's my quizzes. My super quiz, and Rome is in Italy. What country is Rome in? Here's my question, and then my answers. So we can say England, United States of America, or Italy, and that's the correct one. So if I put in something I didn't want to do, just to show you, you can click on that and then click on the little trash can and it will remove it. If you want to change the order, you can just change the order of a question to what order I did now. Anyway, whatever you do, you can update these, and it's just a numeric order. You know, the lowest number appears first. Simple as that. And the answers, as I say, are shuffled. If you want to change these, you can change them and update the question as well. And that's how you create your quiz. So that's one quiz. Now remember, in my course I had 2 quizzes, and this is where it's great because you can reuse these if you want to. So I'm going to flick back to my course here and go to my second quiz, which was wasn't a quiz, it was, sorry, some more content. Just remind me that it was 11 is a primary number and there's 4 seasons. 11 is a primary number and there are 4 seasons. So I can create my next quiz, course quiz part 2. I mean, I probably wouldn't be that specific if I want to share them between courses, but if I want to be specific, then you can absolutely call it what you want. So course quiz part 2, add a question: which of these are primary numbers? Select all that apply. Just to show that you can use a 1 or the all. So that's that. Now the answers, well, we know 11 is, so let's get that in and out of the way. What's not a primary number? 8 is not a primary number. 8 is a primary number. Sorry, 8 is not a primary number. 20 is not a primary number. And 50. I'm sure I've got my knots there. So what I'm saying there, which of these are primary numbers? Let's save that. 11 is correct. 8 is not a primary number. 20 is not a primary number. 50 is not a primary number. Primary number, if you don't know, is a number that's only divisible by 1 and itself. Okay, so that's my first one. And the other is seasons. So how many seasons are there in a year? You can use numbers, or you can use anything basically you can type in there at all. 2, 4 is correct. 12 is the gotcha. Okay, so just the 2 questions, and that's my second quiz. That's how you create a quiz. Very, very easy. So now let's put the quiz into our course. I want to edit my page where I'm going to put my quiz. It's just a page like any other, so I can put anything on the page I want. So let's say quiz 1. And then I want to add my quiz. And you do that by using a page element. The quiz. We'll come on to this one in a second. The quiz, pop it in there. Select quiz from the config bar. Config bar, select the quiz. There's my quizzes, my super quiz. Here I can set the percentage pass. So, excuse me, okay, glug. If you want them to get all questions right, you put in 100. If you've got 10 questions and you want 5 to be right, you put in 50%. If you've got 3 questions, you want 2 to be right, 66%, and so on. It's what they have to require to pass. What happens when they pass? Well, you can just put a message saying fine. You can create another page. Sorry, not create another page, send them to another page. This is where it might be useful for funnels as well as courses. But for me, I'm going to send them to some more content. If they fail, and you can see it fills it in there, by the way. If it fails, I just want to give them a message because I don't want them to go to another page. If this was a funnel, you could start segmenting your audience based on whether they know certain things or at a certain stage in their awareness or whatever it might be. But for me, I just want to say, I can leave that message trying to say sorry, try again. To access. That'll do. Finally, this little tick box here, this is pretty cool. Tick to hide the following pages in the menu until the user has passed this quiz. Only for courses, not for funnels, because it needs to be able to link these with the user. But what this allows you to do is hide the rest of your course until they pass this quiz. And it's a great way to reward people. It's a great way to control the flow of content to them so they don't get ahead of themselves. It's a great way to make sure that they've digested content so they don't get ahead of themselves and then don't understand where they're going. So make sure they've learned, and all those sorts of reasons. So I'm going to tick that, tick, and save. And there you are, pops it on the page for me. So there's my quiz. And I can do various usual bits and pieces with this. I can change the size of it. Because of browser compatibility, the checkboxes don't stretch and so on, so you don't want to be silly and put in a great big font size like that. Just keep it nice and something like that. And you can change the font if you want to. I'll keep it as it stands, I think. Okay, so that's it. Save. So now they've digested the content, they'll get quiz 1, And if they get it right, they'll move to the next page. If they don't, then they'll get told to try again. So let's do exactly the same on quiz 2. So quiz 2. I'm going to come on to the results and certificates shortly, so bear with me while I just sort of do this, because this is just going to repeat exactly the same. I'm just going to go in really quick and add my other quiz. So this is part 2. I want 100%. Where's it going to go? Well, when they've finished, it will go to the final page. If it doesn't, it's going to be sorry. Please try again. And I'm going to hide. Am I going to hide everything else? I can keep the results page actually when they get to this. No, I'm going to hide everything. I'm going to hide everything else because it's a natural flow. Okay, so that's that, and save. So we've now got our content page, quiz 1. That will reveal content next page, quiz 2, which will reveal their final thank you page and what happens next once they've passed everything. Which leads me nicely on to the final page. So this is they finished the course. They've finished all the quizzes, they've got it all right, we can now put our quiz results in here. You could quite happily show this page and it will show whether they've successfully passed all the quizzes today. It depends whether you want to keep it hidden until they get to the end of the course or whether you want it visible all the time. It's entirely up to you. If you're hiding subsequent pages in your menu, you may want to put this sort of result at the top of your course structure so they can go back to it at any point and refer to it. Anyway, let's click on this. Right, now what we can do here is we can create our certificate. So I click on that, and this will allow me to use any image as the background for my certificate. Now I've conveniently put one in stock images, which is this one here, and you can create your own image yourself. It needs to be, what it will do, it will stretch across the background of the certificate. The certificate is UK A4 size, 210 millimeters by 297 millimeters. Okay, so if you're using whatever graphics package you want, create it 210 millimeters by 297 millimeters landscape, and it will quite happily then just pop it on the background of your certificate. Because what it will then do is overlay the name of the person on top, and it puts their name smack bang in the middle, so you can play around with that yourself and have a little play. Okay, I'll insert. There's my certificate. I can then play around with all this stuff just like before if I want to, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. I'm just going to click on that and save. Results are obviously dynamic, so it can't show anything at that point. Right, let's have a look. Let's preview. Oh, that's previewing my, I don't want to go to that point, do I? What I want to do is let's go back to my landing page and click. So here's my course, here's my landing page, here's my wonderful content. Capital of France is Paris, Rome is in Italy, Germany is in Europe. You'll see on the menu quiz 1 is showing, but no other pages. Same is on mobile. That's the mobile view, drop down menu, exactly the same. When I'm ready, I can take the quiz. I click on the button, I go to the next page. Right, I'm now on my quiz. What is the capital of France? Well, I'm going to get this wrong. London, Australia and Italy. Sorry, try again. That's the message. I'll try again. What is the capital of France? Paris. Which of these countries are in Europe? Germany. What country is Rome in? Italy. Click. And it then goes to the next page. And I now get some more content. Down the side here, I've got quiz 2 waiting for me. Here's the information, 11 and 4 seasons. Take the quiz. Takes me to the next page. Primary numbers, all apply. Well, only 11. How many seasons are there? 4. Super. Click on submit. Brilliant. And then my final page appears, showing me my scores. Pass, pass. If you didn't require 100%, they can click on these to go back to the page and retake the quiz, or click on the menu. Simple as that. And finally, the rewarding bit is they can get a certificate. Up it pops, and there's a very nice certificate. So that certificate is the background image, which I chose, plus their name in a nice certificate styled font. Now everything else, my signature, everything else, that's just an image that I just uploaded and just left that gap in the middle. And the name that appears on there will be whatever name they have on their account. And then they can download it, they can print it, they can do whatever they want to do in all of this kind of stuff. Okay, and that's lovely. I like that. That's a PDF file. And that's it. So that's quizzes, and I think that if you're running a course, I think it's almost an essential part of the course, because the psychology of rewarding people, controlling progress, the certificate. Research has shown that a certificate, however silly for whatever course, is great, even if it's a certificate of participation or appreciation or whatever it might be what you want to do. You can only have one certificate per funnel, per course. Excuse me. So if you want multiple quizzes, you'd have to have multiple courses. So one certificate per course, but you can have as many quizzes as you want throughout. And as I say, what I would do is, if you've got your course broken down into weeks or sections or topics or whatever, I'd have a quiz for each of those before allowing them to progress, if you want to stop them from seeing that content. And then finally, final page, you've got your results and a funky certificate. And that is quiz certificates, essentially in courses, but also funnels, if you so wish. Thank you.